Black people didn't take the food. They didn't take the rules. They didn't make the rules. They never created poverty. Black people have survived it, endured everything, and still found joy, still built culture, still prayed, still danced, and still lived in it, with it. That is why America fears the African spirit, because it cannot break up.
Look at the price of gas now! It's $7.55 a gallon! Hey Putin, we're sending you a bill!
Oh, you want to know how poor white Americans are treated underneath the post about white privilege. Alright, let's get into it. Poor white folks are screwed by the system too, no doubt. Poor white Americans face poverty, unemployment, crappy health care, and a failing education system. It's tough, it's brutal, and it's wrong. But guess what? You're not also dealing with systemic racism on top of all of that. White privilege doesn't mean you're living in luxury. It means that you don't have the added weight of racial discrimination. You don't have to worry about being shot by the police at a disproportionate rate for looking too suspicious. You're not getting followed around stores just because of your skin color. You're not getting your job applications thrown out because they sound too ethnic. That's the privilege right there. It's the shit you don't have to think about every damn day. Imagine being poor and then on top of that, facing a world that is rigged to suspect, ignore, and punish you based just on the color of your skin. That is what people of color have to deal with. The system is screwing everyone, but it's got an extra special screw job for people of color. So, poor white Americans are treated like crap, absolutely. But they're not getting the double whammy of poverty plus racial discrimination. That's what white privilege is. It's not a get out of jail free card. It's the absence of a second set of chains. Open your eyes and see the whole picture. The system is broken for everyone, but for some...
Attention, white people. If someone that looks like me is being prejudiced against you, stop calling it reverse racism. It's just racism. There's no such thing as reverse racism.
Poor white Americans are now very furious because of what? Snaps was never meant for black people. It was never meant for black people to go through it. Now listen, America has entered a strange chapter, a strange story. A country that was once bragged of being a richest nation on the earth is now full of people struggling to eat. And now, poor white Americans are waking up to something that has shocked them deeply, shocked the world, shocked them too. SNAP benefits, food stamps, welfare were never charted for black people. White communities have always been the largest users, consumers. Now, America needed a villain and they chose black people. Now, not because black people were the problem, but because the government needed them to hide who is truly benefiting from the SNAP. Okay. When the economy collapsed in 1930s, millions felt poverty. So, what the government did, created a welfare to keep the country alive. And who was getting it first? The white, of course. Especially more so rural farmers and working class laborers. Black people couldn't even apply in many states. The system was built for the whites by the whites, while black Americans were still fighting for basic rights. But as time went on, someone realized one thing or something. If you convince the white poor that black people are stealing their resources, you can control both groups. You see, you can create the division. You can make them enemies instead of allies. And Americans mastered that in their mind.
Y'all want to know one real reason why America's crashing out like crazy right now? Mediocrity don't hit like it used to, baby. See, once upon a time in America, you could be real mid and still thrive. Mediocre effort, boom, you get a house, car, annual vacation, pension, hell, maybe even a boat. You could clock in, coast through the week, grill on Sundays, and still retire with dignity. But that era is dead and gone, baby. And instead of leveling up or adapting, they're mad, they're bitter, and they're not even blaming the billionaires. They blaming you. They have the audacity to blame me. They blaming immigrants, black people, queer folk, anyone they think is taking something that used to be theirs by default. See, they don't want equality. They want comfort. And when mediocrity no longer gets them that comfort, they start rewriting the rules to rig the game again. It ain't
Can someone please explain to me why conservative white men feel they are under attack in the United States? Because the last time I checked, every single U.S. president has been a man. Only one of those men has been a man of color. White men have never been enslaved in this country. White men have never been denied their right to vote in this country, nor has that ever been on the fucking table. Just because people want the same rights that you've always had doesn't mean that you are...
So they began to push images, commercials, news speeches, news segments, political speeches, showing welfare as something black people abuse. When the numbers never changed. The majority of SNAP recipients have always been the whites. But now listen, as the economy is bleeding, as jobs marketing are collapsing, as grocery shops are exploding, white Americans are realizing one thing: they were lied to. By who? Let me ask you, lied to by who? And after being lied to, they are now angry. They're angry. But this anger we're seeing today, the shouting in the office, the protest all over, the range online, is not just about food stamps. It's about identity. Because some white Americans were raised to believe that hard work belongs to us, struggles belong to them. You see, they didn't realize that the black people were never the enemy. It was poverty. Enemy was the poverty. It was capitalism. It was capitalism. It was a system that keep all poor people fighting each other instead of fighting the condition that makes them poor. They are fighting each other. In ancient African empires, Mali, Songhai, Congo, food was not used as a weapon. Community was our wealth. If the farmers had grain, the village had grain. If the fisherman had a catch, the entire city, the entire town had a meal. You feel me? Now, we understood something Americans forgot. No one eats until everyone eats. It's about them. I have something for me, that's fine. So I don't care about somebody else who is there trying to struggle to make a living. You see? But in America, hunger is politics. Hunger is punishment. Hunger is profit. Unlike Africans, unlike black people. Black Americans were never poor because they were lazy. No, they were made poor on purpose. Redlining, low wages, prison system replacing plantations, food deserts placing where black children live. They come and build here a prison where you are living, where you are having a roof. That's where they built their own prison. See? Meanwhile, the poor white Americans were told, you are better than them even if you have nothing. You see? That lie worked for over 400 years. In the system, it's controlling everything because they always feel like they are more than everyone, more than black people in everything. Mind you, they depend on black people a lot than we depend on them.
Baby, white TikTok is in motherfucking shambles because they don't understand how EBT benefits are getting cut off November 1st because a lot of them say they didn't vote for it, but they voted for Donald Trump. And see, this is the problem when you play a game that you think that isn't going to motherfucking affect you, but it's going to affect everybody else, and you feel like it's not your problem or situation to deal with. Things will directly motherfucking affect you. You voted for somebody that didn't give a fuck about you. You also voted for somebody that didn't give a fuck about your neighbor. So it indirectly affected you, and now it's directly affecting you because you didn't even know what you voted for. Most white men and women in rural states and rural areas, they are low income and they get benefits through the state. Dummies. And a lot of them voted against those benefits by voting for fucking Donald Trump when they just thought that he was going to deport all the immigrants. They're crying because they're like, what are we going to do for Thanksgiving? What are we going to do? My benefits are going to get cut. I don't know. I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. Yes, the fuck you did. Sad because now their vote is going to affect millions of people all because they wanted to be racist. Ain't that a damn shame? Fucked up because of the uneducated bunch of people that decided to vote for this man. Now people have to actually suffer behind the hands.
You want to talk about reparations? We pay reparations. What do you mean you want reparations? Our taxpayer dollars, which are mostly white people paying that, goes to, affordable housing, government programs, EBT, scholarships, DEI, you guys getting jobs. Holy shit. Let's take all that, factor in the theft, factor in the crime, factor it in the murders, and then we'll talk about reparations on this show. How about that? You probably won't like that, will you? Because you're not going to like the number.
But today, the grocery shelves don't care about the rest. The price of milk don't care about the rest. The evictions don't care about the rest. And the hunger don't care about the rest. Your stomach can never care about you, white or black. You're hungry, you're hungry, you're hungry, you're hungry. So imagine being hungry and being angry. You will die young. So now they ask themselves, why am I struggling? Why am I hungry? Why am my life getting harder every single day? Why ain't I achieving my dreams life? But now the answer was always there with them, because the system never protected you either. They were just told. This team was to destroy black people. Yeah, we know that. But it was destroying you as well, but small by small. A little by little. But now you are now it's now becoming more than bearable. Now you are seeing it also. System ain't meant for anyone. It's meant to destroy everyone. You feel me? White Americans? And this is the moment right here, right now, where the descendants of African American and the poor white American of rural town are waking up the same truth. You are not enemies. You are the victim of the same design. A design older than welfare, older than government, older than American itself, divided the poor so that they can never rise from being in the poverty. So you have to depend on someone to do everything for you. You feel me? Black people didn't take the food. They didn't take the rules. They didn't make the rules. They never created poverty. Black people have survived it, endured everything, and still found joy, still built culture, still prayed, still danced, and still lived in it, with it. That is why America fears the African spirit, because it cannot break. Africa, no matter how much struggle we go through, no matter how hot fire we step on, we will rise again. Not today, not tomorrow, but we will rise in the spirit.
Black people want to be left alone. They don't want revenge. They don't want to replace us, as some extremist groups have said. They just want to live life in peace, the way they want to live. They want family, they want love, and they want to live in a society where they know they belong here. They want society to also know that they belong here. They want to walk out their door and not worry that they're going to be treated unfairly, or they're going to get that look like they're not welcome, or that someone's going to try to touch their hair like a zoo animal. Yes, they want us to fix. They want white people to fix white problems of prejudice and ignorance and all the ways that a wrongful sense of superiority is baked into our society. Yes, they want that to change. Yes, they want acknowledgement for harms done. They don't want us to just explain things away or justify or gloss over things without.
You know, when Black Lives happened, a lot of Latinos were there supporting Black people. We were protesting with you guys. We were sharing information. And you know what happened? White people started saying all lives matter because they didn't see what was going on. They weren't seeing the bigger picture. And just because, yes, Black people have dealt with this, does not mean that it takes away from what's happening right now. Two things can be true at the same time. I don't really understand why some Black Americans are like above all of this and then trying to make it about yourself when this is not about you right now. It's been about you this whole time, but right now it's not about you. And this shouldn't even be a problem between us. We should be working together, not fighting against each other like some of you are in these comments. Right now, it's Latinos getting taken. Next thing is going to be Asians. They've already started deporting Asian people. It is not going to stop.
When white Americans finally realized that they were lied to, that they were never the enemy, that we were never the enemy, will they join hands with us, or they will clinch to the lie that's killing them every single day? The future of America depends on that answer, on their own answer. Because hunger has no color, but unity does. When you are one, united, you become same. You look same. You appear same. But the anger doesn't have the color. Let's have unity. Let's work together. I'm here to tell you a story that will never end. The story just began. So subscribe, share, and leave a comment. The channel, and anytime I post a video, be the first one to view the video. So turn on the bell.